Hello and welcome to this video. In this video I would like to show you how to make this angry octopus in this chenille yarn. This is quite thick and this gives a quite big octopus, even though there's not a lot of stitches in each round and so on. So for this octopus you will need some yarn of your choice. You can use any kind of yarn you like, but this of course affects the size of the finished octopus. You will also need some thinner yarn that you could use for the mouth and eyebrows, and some safety eyes. You can also embroider these on if you prefer, but I have used these safety eyes, which is 14 millimeters, and of course the safety lock on the inside. I have used a crochet hook that is 6 millimeters, and I use this kind of yarn needle because I think this is easy to work with, but if you have just a regular needle that is quite large, you can also use that, but a small needle is very difficult with this kind of yarn. You will of course also need scissors. I will inform you that I have also made a video with this exact same pattern, but with a different kind of yarn. So this is just cotton 8/8, and this is of course chenille. So there's a huge difference in the size, but it's exactly the same pattern. So if you are kind of new to crochet, I kind of recommend watching this video with the cotton yarn instead and just using whatever yarn you like, really. But the difference is that this kind of fluffy yarn, it might be difficult to see where the stitches are, especially if you are new to crocheting. So it might be easier to see what I'm doing more precisely if you watch the other video with the cotton yarn instead. So I have made a different video for this, and I will put that down in the description. So if you want to follow that instead, you can do that. But you can of course use any yarn that you choose and still follow the video that you prefer. So for this exact yarn, it is called Chenille 6, and it is from the manufacturer Lamy Yarns. And as you can see here, the thickness is 100 grams, is about 120 meters, and it does recommend hook 6 or 7. I always use the smaller one, sometimes even smaller than this. If you are crocheting very loosely, I recommend going down a size or 2. So I will use needle 6.0 millimeters as I showed you before. So with all that being said, let's get into it. I will start off by making a magic loop. You can do this however you prefer, and this is just my preferred method. So what I'm doing is I have the tail in my hand facing towards myself. Then I take my yarn that is towards the ball and wrap it around my finger to create an X. Take the ring off my finger and insert my hook. Grab the yarn from behind and pull up a loop. Then I will hold on to this part of the ring that I just pulled through so it doesn't move, and then I can grab my yarn, wrap it around my hook and pull it through. That's how I make a magic loop. So this magic loop might be difficult with this yarn. If it is too difficult with this yarn, you can always just chain 2 and then crochet in that chain 2 in the first one and use the first chain as your magic loop. But I will try my luck with the magic loop for this one. So in round 1 you have to make 8 single crochets in this magic loop. So to make a single crochet, you insert the hook into the center of the circle, grab the yarn from behind, so I always go down, backwards and up. Then I pull it through the ring, and then I do the exact same, so I yarn over by taking the hook around the yarn, grab it, turn the hook towards myself and pull it through. So that's 1 single crochet, and I have to make 8. So again, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn and pull it through both loops. Again, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. That is 3. And I need 8, so I will just continue to make these single crochets in the exact same way. You can always pause and go back to the beginning if you need to see them slowly again, but it is always the exact same stitch, and I kind of lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I need 2 more. So insert the hook, pull up a loop, insert the hook. No, sorry, I'm not inserting the, I'm just pulling a loop through. Sorry, my mistake. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull it through. Now I have 8 single crochets, and I will try to pull my magic loop tight here. Yes, it worked. Sometimes this is a pain when using this kind of yarn, but thankfully it worked just fine this time. So now I have to move on to round 2, and I will crochet in a spiral, which means that I will just go straight into the first loop of the first round. So if you're not sure which one is the first loop or the first stitch of the round, you can always count back, because you know you have made 8 single crochets, so you can always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number 8 is this one, and that means this is your first stitch for this second round. For the second round, I will do 8 single crochet increases, so that just means I will make 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So I insert my hook into the stitch like I've already done here, then I grab the yarn, pull it through, and again grab the yarn and pull it through both loops, just like I did in the center here. So because I'm making increases, I will do the exact same thing in the exact same stitch. So if you're not sure which stitch you just worked in, you can always look at the stitch you've just made, which is here, and then insert the hook into the same stitch as where the yarn comes out from, if that makes any sense. So I just do the exact same thing, where I grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and then grab the yarn and pull it through. So now I have made 2 single crochets in the same stitch, which is a single crochet increase. I will do the exact same all the way around, so I insert my hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through both loops, and insert into the same stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. So that's 2 single crochet increases. I will continue to do this all the way around. Remember that you can always go back and watch the video again if you need to see it slowly one more time. But I will get back to you as soon as I get to the end of this round, and I have made a total of 8 single crochet increases all the way around. Now I have reached the end of round 2, which means I have made 8 single crochet increases all the way around, which gives me a total of 16 stitches after this round is completed. So if you're not sure, you can just count the stitches: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you can always count the stitches if you are not sure. I will give you a tip which I always use, which is take a yarn. When I use Chenille yarn, I always use a thinner cut yarn. Because I just think this is way easier. So this is just the one I'm going to use for the eyes and stuff later on, but that doesn't really matter. It can be just a scrap that you have left over. So I will insert this here beneath the yarn, so that when I continue, this will stay here, and this will tell me where the round starts and ends. That way I don't have to always continue counting. I can just crochet until I reach the black yarn again, and then it's just I just find it way easier to use a thin thread like this. So moving on to round 3. In this round you have to make 1 single crochet and then an increase, and you have to repeat that 8 times until you reach the end of the round. So I will start by making just a normal single crochet in the next stitch. So I insert my hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull through both loops. That is 1 single crochet, and now I have to make an increase in the next stitch, which is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So I insert my hook, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. And now I have to make another one in the same stitch. So insert the hook in the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. That is 1 single crochet and then a single crochet increase. So I just repeat that all the way around. I make another single crochet and then an increase in the next stitch over here. So I will repeat this a total of 8 times. And that should mean I have reached the end of the round when I have done that. So 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, and increase. And I will get back when I have reached the end of the round. Now I have reached the end of round 3, and I will take this black piece of cotton yarn and just take the one from the back and put it up here underneath the yarn, and this will tell me where the next round ends. So for the next 4 rounds, I just have to make 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So I just go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. And I will just continue to make 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And the stitch count should be 24. So you should have 24 stitches in each round. And I will just continue to make 4 rounds, round 4 to 7. Just making 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I will get back to you when I have made 4 rounds of single crochets. Now I have reached the end of round 7, which means I have made 4 rounds of just single crochet, so it should look something like this. For round 8, I will make 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet decrease. So the first thing I'll do is take this yarn and put it up here just beneath the yarn, so I know where the round begins and ends. So I will start off by just making a regular single crochet. So I just grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through, just like we have done so far. So for the decrease, I will go through the front loop of the next stitch, so in from the front and up through the middle of the stitch, the center of the stitch. Then I turn the hook towards myself and grab the front loop of the next stitch as well, just like that. And then I just make a normal single crochet. So I grab the yarn, pull it through both of these front loops, and then I grab the yarn and pull it through both loops on the hook. Then I make another single crochet in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through, and then another decrease. So again, grab the front loop of the next stitch, turn the hook and grab the front loop of the next stitch again, and then just make a single crochet. So I grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. I will show you one last time. So I just make a single crochet in the next stitch, just completely normal. Then I do a decrease, so I grab the front loop of the first stitch and the front loop of the second stitch. It might be easier to do like I'm doing here, so instead of going like this into the stitch, it might be easier to turn and face the hook away from yourself towards the stitches, because then you can easily grab the front loop of the next 2 stitches and then turn the hook towards yourself again to make it easier to complete the stitch. So that's how to make a decrease, and I will just continue this until I reach the end of the round. So 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So I will get back to you when I have done this all the way around, and it should be a total of 8 times. Now I have reached the end of round 8 and I'm ready to move on to round 9. In round 9 I have to make the arms of the octopus. So for the arms I have to crochet in the front loop only. So I will only work in this front loop that you also used to make the decreases in the previous round. I just work in these all the way around. And I will again take this black yarn and pull it through so I can see where my round starts and ends. This might be especially very nice for this round because you will need to work in the back loop for the next round. So for this round, the first thing you have to do is make a slip stitch into the front loop of the next stitch. So I grab the front loop just like this, grab the yarn, pull it through and pull it through the stitch that I have on my hook, the loop on my hook, sorry. Then I make 5 chains. So a chain is made by grabbing the yarn and pulling it through. That is a single chain, and I need 5, so I will grab the yarn again, grab the yarn, pull it through, that's 2, grab the yarn, pull it through, that's 3, grab the yarn, pull it through, that's 4, grab the yarn and pull it through, that's 5. Then I will skip the first chain, and then I will work in the chains towards the back of towards the body, sorry. So I will work in the chains, and I will make 3 single crochets in each chain. So skip the first one, and then I go straight into the next one here, and I just make 3 single crochets in the same one. So pull up a loop and pull it through, and again insert it into the same chain, pull up a loop and pull it through, and once again into the same stitch, insert the hook, pull up a loop and pull it through. So I will do that in each of these stitches, which is a total of 4 stitches because you skipped the first chain. So I will just do it a little bit quicker just to get back to the body. So I will just do the exact same thing, 3 single crochets in each chain, and this will create that sort of like spiral turning thingy look. So I will just show you in a minute. 3 and 1, 2 and 3. All right. Then I have made the first arm for the octopus. So to continue on, I will make 1 slip stitch in the same stitch that I already did, and then the next 2 as well. So in the same stitch, which is this one, also only in the front loop, I will make a slip stitch. So I pull it through and pull it through the loop on the hook, and then I just make a slip stitch in the front loop of the next 2 stitches as well. So I insert the hook through the front loop just like that and make a slip stitch, that is 1, and then again slip stitch, so I pull it through like that. That was the first arm, and now I am I've made a couple of stitches, so I'm ready for the next arm, and I will do the exact same thing. So I will again make 5 chains, so just grab the yarn and pull it through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I skip the first chain, and then I work in the second chain, and I will make 3 single crochets in each chain. So that is 1, 2 and 3, and again in the next chain, that is 1, 2 and 3. That was the second stitch, the second chain. So in the next chain I will also make 3, so that is 1, I need some more yarn, 1 and 2 and 3, and in the last chain of course I will also make 3 single crochets, so 1, 2, 3. And this should start to turn like this on its own. Sometimes it will do weird stuff like that, but you can just kind of flip it around and make it turn as you want it to. But I don't really worry about this yet, because I will continue working on this body obviously until it's done, and then when it's done I will make sure the arms are as I want them. So I will make a slip stitch again in the front loop of the same stitch that I just made a slip stitch in before I started the arm. So in the same front loop I will make a slip stitch and another slip stitch in the front loop of the next, and another one in the next front loop. So I will continue this all the way around. So I started off by making 1 slip stitch and then 5 chains, skipped 1, and then 3 single crochets in each chain on the way to the back. And then when I reached the back I just made a slip stitch in the same stitch in the front loop only as where I did in the beginning, and then another 2 slip stitches in the front loop, and then I just did the exact same. So 5 chains, skip 1, 3 single crochets in each chain. This creates this turning spiral thing. And then when you get all the way back, you make a slip stitch in the same front loop as where you made the slip stitch before the arm, and then another 2 slip stitches in the next. And then you just continue this all the way around until you have 8 arms. And when you reach the end, you should make, I think, 2 slip stitches, but I will show you when I get all the way around. I cannot remember, honestly. But I will just continue all the way around doing the exact same thing, and then I will get back to you when I have made the arms all the way around. I have just finished the last arm, which means I have not yet made my single crochet, my slip stitch in the front loop here. So I will make the first slip stitch in the same as the previous slip stitch, which is the same as I've done all the way around, and then just 1 slip stitch here. That is the arms all the way around. They look quite wobbly right now, but that's fine. So for this next round, you'll have to work in the back loops that you didn't work in, because you only worked in the front loops of this round. So now you have to work in the back loops, and they might be quite difficult to see when using this yarn. So what you can do is you can kind of try with your needle first, because now you know this is where the round starts, where the black yarn is. So you can kind of go underneath here and see where the stitches are. It is a little difficult because you also have like the back bump from the slip stitches that you made. And it is a little difficult to see, but they should be here somewhere. So honestly, just kind of try. It is more difficult with this kind of yarn. So if you're having trouble, I recommend going to the video with this kind of yarn. You might be able to see it easier on this one. But it is here, and sometimes I have done this enough to just know where it is, but if you are new to crochet, this might not be very easy. But you can try, and the most important thing is that you make a single crochet in each of these back loops all the way around until you have reached the end of the round, and that should give you 16 stitches. So 16 single crochets all the way around. So I have made 1 and 2, and I just make them in the exact same way. The only difference is I'm only inserting my hook through the back loop of the previous round is it the previous? I'm not sure. English is not my native language, you might have noticed. But I hope you know what I mean. So in the round from before the arms in the back loop there. So I have made my first single crochets. I will continue, and I should have 16 single crochets when I have reached the end of the round. So I will get back to you then. So this is what it looks like when I have almost gotten all the way around. So I just came on here to show you the last stitch, because it might be difficult to see, because this one, kind of gets in, and I continue from this and on, and it might be a little difficult to see, but you should look for the first single crochet that you made, and then there's a slip stitch just before that one, and when you flip it around, there should be another back loop down here right before the black yarn here. So that should be your last stitch. I know this is a little difficult. If you're having trouble seeing the back loops and working in them like I just did, you can kind of just like insert your hook into whatever you can find and then hope for the best, and then just make sure you have 16 stitches. That's really all that matters the most. So you should be fine if you just kind of try and go for it and just make sure you have 16 stitches. I know that might be easier said than done, but nonetheless, that is what I think and kind of recommend, because I know this can be a little difficult. So what I will do now is I will just pull this loop up so it's loose, and now it's time to insert the eyes. So I have my eyes ready, and as you can see on this one, I have gone from the top, and then if you count this as round 1, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have the eyes in this round. So 5 rounds and then the eyes. And I have also, I will try to show you, so each stitch is made in a hole, so I hope you can see that there's a stitch here that starts from this hole. That is one hole, and I have one here and one here. So there's 3 holes, as I call them, or stitches, between the eyes. So that's the distance this is where I have placed the eyes. You can of course just place them however you like, but I like them to be kind of low, because then when you do like this, it kind of like, I think it just looks more grumpy when they are a bit lower on the body when it sits there. So so I will count, and I will go for the opposite side of where my black yarn is, just because yeah, it's just a habit. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I will try to place the arms on this side how they're gonna be when it's done, because then you can decide if you want it like this one, where the mouth is kind of hiding behind one of the arms, or you can do it like this one, where the mouth is kind of in between the arms. So I will do it where the mouth is in between the arms for this one, so I have done both. So that means I want the mouth to be around here, so I want the eyes to be sort of like here. So I will count 5 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means this is the line that goes between the 5th and the 6th round. So I think, where should the middle be? That should probably be like this one. And then I will go 1, 2 and insert the eye there. I hope this makes some kind of sense. So what I'm counting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, and then this is where I want the middle to be, so the mouth to be between these arms, even though the mouth will be a little bit lower. So this is one stitch, and then there's another stitch here where I can just insert my hook. Easy peasy. And in the next hole, that's where I put my eye. So I have 1 hole here, 2, 3, and then this is where I will insert the eye on the other side, just like that. And then of course I will go to the inside and secure it with my lock, and I just place it like this and pull it in, just like that. Make sure it locks nicely when you do this. So again, with same with the other eye, pull it in, just like that. And now the eyes are secure. You can do the eyebrows and the mouth here if you want to, but I prefer to do it at the end, because then I can see kind of the shape and stuff better. So I just prefer that, because I think it can get a little bit weird if you do it now and then things move around and stuff. So I will just finish it and then do the last details. And before I move on to the next round, I will also stuff it. So I have some stuffing here, and I just stuff. Do I need more? This is always like, you can use the amount of stuffing that you prefer. I added a big chunk, so I just need a little bit more, I think. Just make sure it's kind of spaced out evenly. Some people like when it's very very well stuffed. I don't particularly like that. I think it expands the stitches so you can see through them, and I don't like that. And I don't think it's very squishy if you put too much stuffing in it. But yeah, I think this will be fine. That's it. So now it's time for the very last round. So for the very last round, I will make 8 single crochet decreases, which means I will just make them right after each other. So I will go into the first stitch and only into the front loop, just like I have done before. That's it. And then in the front loop of the next stitch, and then just a regular single crochet. So this is just decreases the exact same way I've done before, and then I just go straight into the next front loop and the next front loop again and make another decrease. So I will just continue this all the way around, and then I will get back to you when I have reached the end of this round. Now I have reached the end of the last round, so what I will do is I will just kind of pull this loose just a little bit, and I will cut the yarn, and then I'm done with that. So I will just pull this through, and you know, if you know working with chenille yarn, you will have a bunch of this from this point forward. So I just thread the needle, so I'm ready to close the hole. So to close the hole, I just insert my needle through the front loop from the outside towards the center, and I just do that in each of the last stitches all the way around. I don't pull it very tightly, I just kind of makes it lay there, if that makes any sense at all. So just do this in all 8 stitches. This is number 7, and this is the last one. So when you have done this, you can insert the needle through the center and just out somewhere random. So just like this. And then you pull it, and then you pull it tight. I like to kind of hold it down a little while I do it, and this will close the hole. So now you just need to weave in this end, and I just do it by going just like in through these stitches, just a little way, just a couple of stitches, not many really, just like that. If this is like meant for babies or small children, or you're selling it at a market or something, which you totally, by the way, are allowed to do, you can sell these on any market you would like. But then I would just go back the other way, just like kind of grab onto some yarn here and then go back the other way. But this is not, so I will just pull it through somewhere random. So I just inserted the hook where the yarn came out, pulled it through somewhere random, and I have some more of this, and out somewhere random, and I can just cut it here like that. So I kind of just pull at it before I cut it, and I do this because then the tail will kind of hide itself in the end. But with chenille yarn, you'll have this fluffy stuff that comes off the yarn, and if you see it poking out, you can just kind of poke it back in and tell it not to come back out. So this black string, you can just pull it out, and now you can keep your octopus just like this if you want to. It looks kind of happy, it's kind of cute, so you can do that if you want to. But I will of course make it angry, so you can adjust the arms if you like to do that. So it looks like this. You can of course always make it happy too, if you prefer that. I will not tell you what to do, I will just show you how I am doing it, and I am making it angry. And I'm just using the same needle. You can use a regular needle, but yeah, this is just the one I have close by. So I just like to insert, like to start off somewhere random, so I will just start in the center here, and I will like this, where my needle comes out here is where I want the top of my mouth to be. So I will go to like down to the side. This is where I want one of the sides of the mouth to be. I will leave a tail here, and I will use that when I close off at the end. So I want the mouth to go up like this and then down. And I find that the easiest way to make this look cute and like it actually is attached, sometimes when you just make 2 stitches, you can tell that they don't even touch each other at the top. So what I do is I go straight to the other side of where I want the mouth to end, and then I go to the middle where I want it to be. So you can do the exact same thing. If you're making a happy mouth, then you just go down instead. So I'm making it angry, so I'm going up. I hope this all makes sense, and if it doesn't, I hope you can see what I'm doing anyways. So I pull it in just loosely like this, and then I go underneath this, and then when I pull it up, it makes him angry, and I just love it. So I pull, no, I don't pull, sorry, I insert the needle through the exact same hole as where this is coming out of, because now it goes around this at the bottom, I kind of hold on to this as well because this goes straight to this one. So if I just pull, this might get loose. So I'm holding on to this one a little bit, inserting the needle through the same hole, and I'm just making sure it's around that bottom line thingy. And then I go up here to make the eyebrows, and I think the eyebrows starting like here. You can place them wherever you want to, but this is just kind of in the middle of the row above the eyes. So I just pull this and it makes him angry. Look at that. Amazing. You can, of course, as I mentioned, do the same thing for a happy mouth. So I just go from here and to this hole back here to make it go just a little bit up like that. And then I move across and I kind of find the same stitch on the opposite side. So this is kind of like above the inside of the eye, and I will kind of do the same thing here. So this is above the inside of the eye over here. And this is in the middle of a stitch, kind of, but that's fine. You can just kind of try. You can always like undo it and then go back and do it again. And then just up and back a little. And then this is the last thing I will do. So I will go up through the exact same hole as where I started. And it is very important for this to work that it is the exact same hole. If it is slightly like to the side or something, this technique that I'm doing here will not work. Just to let you know. So now my octopus is angry and I love him. Love him, love him, love him. You can always adjust the stitches a little bit if you like to. Just like that. Sometimes when you use this chenille yarn, when you do these stitches, it just kind of hides the yarn because it's thinner. So you might want to kind of pull it forward, but that's fine. Now I just tie a knot and I kind of tighten it, but not too much. And I make another one, just a regular knot. Just like that. You can make 2, 3, however many you like. And then I insert my needle into the exact same hole again. And then just out somewhere random. This might be here. And then I pull it tight enough to pull the knot that I just made in to the head of the octopus. And I can cut this off. And I will do the same thing with the other end. Just like this. Okay, so my needle is a bit too long, so I will just insert the needle first and then thread the needle and then pull it all the way through. And cut this off as well. And if you can see it poking out, you can just poke it back in, and the other one is hiding, that's fine. And if you feel like there is a hole here now, you can just kind of pull the stitches a little bit and it will disappear. So now is another angry octopus is done. It's cute, it's angry, but it kind of loves you. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. That's how to make a cute little angry octopus. So that's how you do it. I hope that if you make this octopus that you might share it and tag me. I will put my social media handles down below. So yeah, please tag me if you do this or comment or whatever. I would love to see your octopuses made from this video. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope you would consider subscribing down below. And if you press the bell icon, you will, I think, get a notification every time I put up a new video. I will try to make more videos like this one. So thank you for watching.